Hi everyone, I wanted to make a quick video to talk about the documentation for the project so far. So as you know, as we've been going through this process, I've been documenting all the steps, and I wanted to create a set of instructions that people can use if we ever have to do this again, you know, just to follow through with all the things that are necessary to get this moved to another workstation or to reconfigured. So the way I did that was I decided to use one of our products that we call Workforce Insights. This is a standalone custom app that we put into the various applications that customers use, in this case Microsoft Word. And so you can see I have a standard Word menu here with all the things that we need to do. And then in addition to that, you can see I have a new item called Workforce Insights. So this is a product that's developed over the years. We've used it a lot to do all the documentation, and we really like the ability to create what we call step-by-step instructions, which is one of the main things that allows us to do. So in this example, I've been using this app, and what it does is it allows me to create these sets of instructions, and then it automatically takes it through a process where we can add different pieces to it. So you can see over on the right, I have a list of the 5 application that I've created documentation for. And so in each example, if I go ahead and click on one of those items, it's going to load that information into the screen in the format that I use to create it. And so what happens is it stores this information in a SQL database, and so you can use this on your system to create information and instructions as well. And I'm thinking as we go forward, it probably makes sense to start to capture some of the information about the day-to-day processes that we do in this example. And that way, when we're evaluating what things we want to improve, we can look at all the individual pieces of the puzzle and evaluate how we want to do it. So it kind of creates an inventory of all the work, kind of a roadmap for all the work, and how we can use that then effectively to make changes in the future. So in this example, this is a standard template that the system created. To create a new procedure, I would simply go to this button, Create New. It asks me for a few pieces of information. I've already configured this to be specific to the things we do. And so I can just, with a few easy steps, create a new procedure, and then from that I can start to build. So I'll just go ahead and save my changes. And what happens is it creates a new document, it assigns a numeric number to it, it puts some base information in about what this procedure is about based on the defaults, and then it also keeps track of all the amendments. And you can also do things like run it through an approval process where perhaps the author creates it, somebody else reviews it, somebody else approves it. And so it's got all that built-in capability. And then once you create that new document, you can start attaching step-by-step instructions, or work instructions as we call them. And then we can use that to allow people to reperform those steps using the step-by-step instructions. So for example, if I go to this first one, this is kind of an overview. So as I'm clicking on this, it's going out to the SQL database, it's loading it, it's using a set of Word templates, which is nice because people are used to using Microsoft Word. And you can see that it formats it in this nice step-by-step instruction format. Then what else you can do, you know, this is the template for the base SOP, and it has certain key information on the left and then the step-by-step instructions on the right. But you can also switch the format and reload it using a different scheme. So this is what we would call a quick reference guide, where you have a couple columns of information with the steps, and somebody could use this to perform the steps, you know, print this out or pull it up on the screen and then reperform the steps based on the information that's in there. Perhaps the best format is the work instruction, because it rather than presenting it in multi-column format. Some of these get pretty long, but this one might be work well for us. This just would perform the same information in one column. So I'm going to go ahead and print these out and send them over to you, and then later this week when we're working on the network, I can copy the application over to your system, and maybe we can start to use this to document any future changes, or even to kind of create that work inventory that I talked about.